Hello everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Chinyande, and as previously mentioned in the previous video, that I will be taking you through the steps on what it takes for you to be a crew member on a cruise ship. So I'm currently in my hometown of Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. This is where I am, just killing time, waiting for my boarding, waiting for my itinerary. So I have gone through all the medical tests, done the visa, all the applications. So in my previous video, we talked about the application process, what you need to do, where you need to go, or the feel of generally how it is. So yeah, you're gonna hear a little bit of background noise, which is taxis passing, cars passing, dogs barking, children playing. I'm in my hometown. So basically, we spoke about all these other things, the application process, but it feels like the interview process, what that is like. So I think today we will tackle something that is a bit more complex, which is the medical examinations. So I've decided to split this video into two. So you will have blood tests, and then you will have the second video where you've got the urine test right up until consultation, right? So that at least the videos don't become too long and take too much of your time, too long, boring, so that you have a step-by-step kind of explanation to all these things. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Chinyande. Once again, don't forget to like, share, and click the subscribe button. Now, as I often emphasize, that it differs from company to company, so I will make reference once again to Norwegian Cruise Lines. So Norwegian Cruise Lines require you to take a urine and blood test, right, before you can consult your doctor, which is their certified doctor, the one that they trust to interpret all these different lab results, and then sum it all up and give one medical report, right, which is the PEME report, right? So initially, when you get emailed your requirements, right, this is after you've passed your interview, this is after you have done everything as far as the interview process is concerned, and you have accepted your offer letter, right? So basically what Norwegian Cruise Line does is they give you a crew data form, now a visa form, as well as a list of doctors within your region who they have certified to conduct a medical examination and issue a seafarers certificate. So with your crew data form, basically this is just information about you, right, the crew member, right? Things like your home airport, this is the airport that you would like to leave from and be flown back to, a list of dependents, nothing hectic. Now, and then as well as your visa form. So this form is just a form that carries captures your passport number, your visa numbers and things like that, expiry date, and so on and so on. All right, so today we will dwell on the medical test. So what then happens is they will tell you that, listen, you need to carry out medical tests, right? And they will give you a list of certified doctors within your region. So I remember initially when I got my list, I didn't see anything in Africa. So it was India, the Philippines, and so on and so on. So I had to email back and say, hey, listen, I live in Africa, in the southern part of Africa. So what's happening here? So that's when I got a list. I was in Johannesburg at that time. So that's when I got a list. In Johannesburg, there is a Dr. Bernice Gianni, right? She is in Centurion in Johannesburg. So that was the closest doctor to me. And then I think there were two others in Cape Town, and then one in Durban. Right. So that was a bit far from where I was. So then you have to initiate communication with the doctor and write them an email to say, listen, I have been offered employment by Norwegian Cruise Lines, and they have referred to me as you to me as their certified doctor. And then normally she responded quite swiftly, I think within a day, and then she gave me a list of tests that I needed to conduct, because she has been briefed by the employer or the cruise line that, listen, as far as Norwegian Cruise Lines is concerned, we would like our crew to undertake these tests. So then, she has been really helpful, because now on the list of all those requirements, she has gone out of her way to get certain quotations, to get certain numbers and figures, logistical facts, where this place is, where that place is, and so on and so on. So then she emailed me a list to say, listen, you are going to need to do full blood tests, you are going to need to do urine tests, and like I say, it differs from company to company. I remember laughing at the appointment with the doctor. This is at Dr. Berenice's premises. So I met one guy there and we are chit-chatting. So he asked me, so where did you do your blood test? I tell him, where did you do your number 2, So, the urine will be number 1, but then his particular employer or his particular company required him to have samples of number 2 tested, So we laughed about it. So it differs from company to company. Some will ask you to do what other companies don't ask you to do. So but in general fact, you just need to have some tested. But I think the blood is a kind of an umbrella requirement for all the major employers. Okay, so Dr. Berenice furnished me with quotations, pro forma invoices. This is for other guys who had, because now you need to know exactly how much it is going to cost. So this is another thing, once you've applied for the job and you've got the job, you've got the offer letter, you've accepted your offer, and you think, wow, okay, so I'm moving to the next thing. But we take a lot of things for granted. When I looked at my tests, especially the blood and urine tests, I could see that they were close to 5,000 rands, you know what I mean? So that's when you're like, oh, wait a minute. But then again, with company to company, it differs. Some companies, like Norwegian Cruise Lines, they will reimburse medical test expenses. So as I often say, like, it differs from company to company. Norwegian Cruise Lines reimburses the cost of the medical certificate, right? Of the medical certificate. So all these tests that are going to be conducted, blood, urine, the X-ray, the audiology, as well as the yellow fever vaccine and the MMR and the tetanus and polio vaccine, all of that, I just need to take all my receipts, right? And immediately as I step foot onto the vessel on my sign-on date, then I would immediately get reimbursed for all those costs incurred to conduct those tests. So some other companies would say, no, listen, this is on you. I know for a fact Carnival reimburses visa fees and does not reimburse medical fees. So yeah, so it will differ company to company. So I then spoke to Dr. Gianni, and she advised, no, listen, you can do these tests at any pathology lab close to you. So what I then did was, okay, look, already I've got this unexpected amount of money that I'm supposed to spend to do this test. So irregardless that they are going to reimburse it, this money needs to be used sparingly, because there's still other things that need to be done, like your visa. You still need to travel logistically, from place to place getting tested. So what I then did, I dedicated a day of comparing prices. I looked up all the pathology labs close to me, and then I compared the prices, for all the different tests. So what I managed to come up with was, close to me where I was staying in Boysens, Johannesburg, there is a pathology lab there called Target Laboratories. So that is where I found the blood test to be more reasonable. So I went on and I did my test. So let me just flight a list of all the tests that Norwegian requires you to do, male, female, and there is also what is called a stool test that you additionally need to do if you are youth crew or if you are working in the food and beverages. So let me just flight that right now on your screen. Alright, so that is a list of all the blood tests that you need to do, as well as your urine test. Now, I did my blood test at Target, so you have some blood drawn. I'll flight a picture and a video right now. So after all that blood has been taken out from you, those are blood samples, it is taken for testing. So results are 24 to 48 hours, especially for your blood test. The urine tests take a bit longer, like 4 or 5 days, since all that is microscopic. So I had a little problem with my total blood cholesterol. So the normal level of total blood cholesterol is supposed to be 5,1 and below. So I went and I scored at 5.6, and then I got a letter from an email, from Dr. Gianni, and she said, no, listen, they are quite fussy about total blood cholesterol, so you would need to retest. So she gave me a prescription of some blood cholesterol, some cholesterol tablets, and then she advised me on the diet to take. So basically I cut out any food with any fat, ate quite a lot of veggies, steamed or boiled quite a lot of things that I was eating. This was my own personal choice. I decided to stay off the meat completely. If ever I felt like having some meat, I would have some chicken breast, or some fish, steam it up, and so that is substituted cooking oil for olive oil, just the basics. And if I tell you, I went to retest 10 days later, and I cut my total blood cholesterol to 3.9, which then served as normal. So that is the only abnormality that was there on my test. That was just the blood cholesterol. So here's the thing, quite often we are so relaxed, we don't go for these checkups, we don't go for these tests, but this is actually, take it as an opportunity to actually get to know what is happening within your body, what blood type you are. I know there are some people out there who don't even know what blood type they are. You get to know all those things. Now, most of the blood tests, especially for like the glucose, you need to fast. They are called fasting tests. So you need not to have had a meal within the past 10 hours prior to having the test done. So before you go and have these tests done, you need to fast for 10 hours and then have them done. And then for those that partake of the holy waters, the alcohol, most of the tests really don't matter. really don't matter. You can have a beer before and have the test done the next day. So it's really not, but just to be on the safe side, fast, drink lots of water, and then go and have the test done. Right. Now let's move on to the next thing. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.